Hello, good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. This is In Truth and in Spirit World of Worship Fellowship. It is Thursday, the 6th February, 2025. Every Thursday we have a fellowship that handles various kinds of topics from the social perspective. And today we are looking at the impact of betrayal. And the inspiration was from the follow-up questions from Omulangira Wasajja after listening to one of the presentations that we did at the fellowship. So he had some follow-up questions, which to me were not so clear. I guess that was an individual problem, and by individual I mean myself. But we decided that we review the topic on this forum so that even others can come in and communicate or even share their views. He was asking whether, do you have a best friend? How much does your best friend know about you? Are you their best friend too? Must one have a best friend and yet betrayal is by one's closest and most trusted friend? So those were the questions by Omulangira Wasajja. Unfortunately, he does not keep time, so we cannot say for sure that he's not here. He will eventually show up. We hope that he does, but nonetheless, we can continue discussing his questions. I am not sure all of us have listened to that presentation that we did at the fellowship, at the physical fellowship. But in case you haven't, the fellowship, the In Truth and in Spirit, initialized as iTiS, World of Worship Fellowship, has a YouTube handle. You can always visit that. There's quite a number of topics that we have handled. You look through, listen to that, and then you can also give us feedback. Give us a like to whatever video you watch. Give us a follow if you can. Recommend us to a friend if you think that our content is useful. And then we will appreciate. We will appreciate then if you do that. Now, we are now going to talk about betrayal. Perhaps what it is not, and then the impact, especially because that's our lead topic today, the impact of betrayal. Now, we can start with simplistic guiding questions. Have you ever been betrayed? How did you feel after? How do you feel now? Who betrayed you? Or how was the experience altogether? And then what it means. That is from the individual perspective. But there's also that corporate view where we need to ask between the leaders of your country and those they lead, who has betrayed the other? Who has betrayed the other? Have our leaders betrayed us? Or have we betrayed our leaders? Or we have all betrayed ourselves? Both we, the led, and the leaders have betrayed ourselves. What can we do to curb the practice of betrayal within our communities? And is betrayal inevitable? Is it part of life? Should we just come up with ways of living with such? Can you trust anyone not to betray you? Can anyone betray you? Between friends and foes, who can betray you? So we are moving from that perspective. Can a parent betray a child? Can a child betray a parent? Have you been betrayed at work? Have you been betrayed in relationships? Can a spouse betray you? How do you deal with that? What is the impact of that betrayal? Are all betrayals equal? My sound is unstable, according to Peter. Is that the same experience with everyone?
Yeah, you go high and then low and then high and then low.
Okay, so how am I now? Is that okay? Is it okay here?
Yeah, you can continue speaking.
Yeah, sure. So basically that is it. I don't know which part of my introduction and my guidance you've had, but I guess whoever wants to start and chip in can come in, and then we start from there. Anyone who wants to share with us their experience, all right? Because yeah, your microphone is on. Peter?
Hello.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, for this opportunity. Yes, betrayal. I've ever been betrayed, and betrayal, where betrayal is, I think the discussion should first focus on trust, and the discussion also ought to mind the one you trust. On what basis do you trust them? Because the quality and magnitude of betrayal is proportional to the trust. But more importantly, what was the cause of your trust? When I think if we interrogated the causes of our trust, then we shall have to understand, then we can understand the weight and quality of betrayal. So I've ever been betrayed, and I'll talk about in the world of romance or the world of relationship. I fall in love, like that's the language. I don't know whether I'm using the language technically, but that's the language. I fall in love with this girl. I am doing a master's degree. I am 28 years old and she's 7 years younger than I am. And when I make 30, that is 3 years down the road, I'm very eager to marry because earlier on I had proposed. So immediately his name is hung on the list, on the graduation list. It is the day she ends the relationship. And her reason, honest reason, the reason for my trust, she says, you know what, Peter, for all the 3 years we've been together and we've made love and we've enjoyed each other, I have never got attracted to you and I have never loved you. Now, as if that wasn't enough, that is one of my betrayals I've met. Another betrayal is still in a relationship with a lady I had also thought we would get married. I loved with all my heart, soul, and body, and all my finances. And I think you understand what finances mean. If you're a man, if you have spent some time being a man, you know what it means to put in your resources, but most importantly, the resource of your heart, the resource of your head. So 5 years, we wait for each other. I graduate in 2009. And that is 4 years of the relationship. I propose because I've got the job. After my graduation, I've got a job with NTV Uganda, and also got another job with Chambogo University, though on part-time, but still I got the job. I photocopy these appointment letters, and my fiance has got copies of my appointment letter. And I've proposed, we have started medical examination, and during the second medical examination, she skips it. I start calling, she couldn't pick. When she picks 3 weeks later. To cut the long story short, I discover she's pregnant and not pregnant with my child. And she's pregnant and pregnant with a man older than we were by at least 2 decades after 5 years. Now I've just used that. I've just used those experiences on me. I've other several experiences on my brothers. Here and my brothers elsewhere. So, but we need to interrogate Peter and the rest who fall in the category like I do. What in the first instance, what was the cause of your trust? Some people trust you they are trusting you because of your financial status. Others are trusting you because of your blood relations with them. Others trust you because of your history with them. I've been with Brother Isaiah White for the past 13 or 14, 15 years. So we share a history. I have gone through agony, and he knows my agony. I have gone through ecstasy, and he knows my ecstasy. He knows my weaknesses. We've cried together. We have shared pain together. So we have a history with Isaiah White. So because of that history, I trust him probably. He trusts me probably because of that history. Others trust others because of ideology. I used to be a Seventh-day Adventist by religion, and I had people who trusted me. I too trusted others, but little did I know, it had never occurred to me that I trusted them or they trusted me because of ideology, religious ideology. And immediately our ideologies went east and west. We're no longer together and we are no longer buddies. So what is the cause of our trust? Or what should be? What should be the cause of our trust? Or should we trust at all? If we cannot or we shouldn't trust at all, then how are we going to relate with others? I have also betrayed somebody, though I cannot expose, I'm not at liberty to disclose here, but I have trusted, somebody trusted me for over 7 years and I've betrayed her, you know? And probably she has a cause for my trust. So probably betrayal does not come when it happens or when it manifests. Probably betrayal comes at the time the relationship of trust or the element of trust was established. It is at that point that betrayal can be established or can be defined.
Thank you, Mr. Serubide. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing that experience. That was bold of you. I hope everyone is thinking about their life experience and how it has manifested after all this time. We really appreciate that. Number one. Number two, we also appreciate you for angling this discussion by introducing in the concept of trust, because we cannot discuss betrayal without talking about trust, and I think that is also very, very important. What we haven't done is to define betrayal, though. So what is to betray the other? And then maybe we could start from there and then delve into the concept of trust. That is, if it manifests in our definition, in our working definition. Can someone give us a working definition that we will develop along the way? Hello, just switch on your microphone or put up, raise your hand, and then I will. Can someone give us a
Isaiah,
working? Yes, Rutembana.
the professor of English is on the call. I thought he was going to
No, it's
define
not.
it for us.
It's not a grammatical class, neither the literature one. It is the conceptual one. How do you understand betrayal? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for meaning, not the dictionary meaning. So we shouldn't abuse the professor of English here, yet we are here. How do you understand betrayal, Rutembana?
Hello?
Hey, the Mtweza has gone. Yes, Peter.
Yes, thank you very much. First and
Mm.
foremost, only one whom you trust or only one who trusts you
Mm.
have the liberty, have the right, have the privilege to betray you, to betray me. Therefore,
That is a response to who can betray you. We want to know what betrayal is.
yes. When I betray you, I have violated your trust in me. To violate your trust in me concerning a certain issue, especially a critical issue, an issue of a whether or not. When you face an issue of a whether or not, and you act contrary to the trust they have in you, then that is betrayal.
So betrayal is the violation of another's trust.
Exactly.
Okay. How do we violate that trust? By lying to them, by doing the unexpected. Can't I violate that trust accidentally? And there are many ways of violating someone's trust that cannot be categorized as betrayal.
Well, we shall find out, I guess.
Yes.
But really, betrayal is going against expectations or commitments,
Okay.
or even standards that have been set. So I don't know if there's anything outside that which qualifies as betrayal.
Okay.
Yeah. So we see, since we're still at the definition level, I would say betrayal is just going against expectations, written or otherwise, commitment, and then of course standards.
Okay.
Now, the reasons for that can be, like you said, you can do it knowingly or unknowingly. I guess we shall get into that.
Okay. Mtwezi, that's why you come.
And now, I want to just ask at this point, since we are still defining, should we also bring in the aspect of agreement between the two parties? Because if you say that this person betrayed me, this person betrayed you on your side of the things. How about on his side? Because some of these engagements, there's no mutual consent. For example, if you take your child to school, you're taking your child to school and you're only looking at your side as a parent. Yes, of course, yes, you're also looking at the future of this child. But now when you've heard of these stories where children are taken to school and then they end up in the entertainment industry, and then a parent is crying, this person betrayed me. But then when this person succeeds in life, it is to his benefit that he betrayed. Okay, it is to his benefit that he took the route that he diverted from the direction his parent or her parent had given him. Now he took another direction and he has probably succeeded. So do we also need to talk about consent, that I'm trusting you, but these are the terms and conditions? Then both parties agree. So that in case you divert, then that's when we can say you're betrayed. When Jesus called Judas, what was the consent? What was the agreement? Because if we were to analyze it at that level, that what if it was to the benefit of Judah to do what he did? Yeah, thank you.
Now, that is an interesting point, Pedson. Now that we have got the definition from Serwide and Musoke, Pedson has actually helped us give us another perspective. Now that we're talking about the impact of betrayal, and there are situations where the person who has been betrayed is the beneficiary of the betrayal. For example, the example he has given, when you envisioned your child graduating and they don't, and they switch to another industry, it could be vocational or that of talent, and then they start actually footing all your bills. Well, you were betrayed, you wanted a degree, but you are beneficiary of the betrayal. Is that possible? So that we don't just be negative, and there are some positives in betrayal, or we are trying to sanitize something evil.
Betrayal is defined by its outcomes or what it is, because now we have gone to outcomes of the betrayal.
Yes, because we are
or is
looking
that
at
still part of the definition?
No, we have shifted from the definition. We are working with your definition and Serwide, but now we are looking at another. We have shifted to the perspective of the impact now. And Peterson was arguing that sometimes you are betrayed and you're actually the beneficiary of that betrayal.
Yeah,
And
in the
the
broken world, I
possibility
think
of
it can happen.
that.
Because really, betrayal is always about self. And before I betray you, I have to think about myself first. For whatever reason. It could be pressure, it could be, whatever it is, but it's got to be about the self. So, yeah, it's possible for me to think about myself now and I betray you, and then in future, you actually benefit from that betrayal. In the broken world, it can happen.
Me.
Yes.
Then can I also be a beneficiary of the betrayal if I'm the one betrayed?
Yeah, if you use the example you gave, if you are Chameleon's father, the boy stopped in S6, went into entertainment. 20 years later, he's the top artist in Uganda with the brothers. They're bringing you money. Maybe you can be beneficial in that sense, yes.
So we shouldn't just weep about betrayal all the time.
Yeah, because sometimes also, imagine, even in the case of a heartbreak, I think from Peter's example, someone leaving your life can be beneficial to you. Maybe you are blind to so many things. When they leave, then you start seeing things you're not seeing before. So, yeah, it can be beneficial even to the betrayed.
It is unfortunate to stay with the wrong friend forever. So if that wrong friend betrays you early enough, then you have survived that candidate.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Zachary, do you want to come in here?
Yes, Priest Mutavazi. Also, in fact, I just joined, but just from the onset, I also like to, is betrayal feeling? Do you feel like you've been betrayed, or is it a conviction? And can that conviction be wrong? Because if you are convinced, like
excuse me, Zachary, excuse me, Zachary, is there a confusion between being betrayed and just being convinced that you are betrayed and it is not the reality? Is that what you're trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is you see, like you can be convinced that this is a betrayal, or this guy has betrayed me, but indeed from the other side, or the other guy, from maybe he had good intentions. He was doing something that he thought would be a benefit to even you, just like you are saying. And so that's why I'm concerned. Is it really a feeling? Do you feel like somebody has betrayed me, or you're just convinced like, this guy has really has betrayed me? See?
So before I say that I am betrayed, you're asking me whether I am sure about that.
Yes. Are you sure you're just convinced that I'm betrayed?
Musazi, can you
When do we
have
say, in other
yes.
words, when do we say, Priest Isaiah, that you've been betrayed?
Hello there.
Oh,
Good evening, everybody.
Zachary. Oh, good evening to you. Zachary has switched off. Okay, Musazi, continue, please. I wanted to ask you, Musazi, whether there's a possibility of confusion and you claim to be betrayed and yet you're actually not betrayed. Are we always betrayed, or sometimes it is just a misconception of the reality?
I think it's quite possible for someone to say they have been betrayed and they have not actually been betrayed. For example, if you are dating a girl and you can tell from her behavior that she's not really interested in you romantically. She does not take your phone calls when you call her. When she comes to visit you and her phone rings, she steps aside to take the phone call. And she acts in every way that really suggests that either she's seeing someone else or she's just playing along with you, buying time. She thinks there is someone else out there who is a proper fit. By the way, this has got nothing to do with Mr. Serubid's story about betrayal. I'm just giving an example of where sometimes
Sure, we understand.
yeah. So you go ahead to invest in this girl. Maybe you buy her birthday presents, you fund outings, you are even prevailing on her to introduce you to her parents. But everything she's doing, really, if you speak to friends, they're going to tell you, Mark, please don't waste your time on that girl. And many of us actually, when we really want something, or we've fallen in love with somebody, we don't want to hear other people's stories. We just want the person to be with us. So people may give you advice and you don't want to listen to them. So to shorten a long story, if eventually this person goes ahead and says no, says, I really don't have anything to do with you. I have never fallen in love with you in the real sense. It simply means that you actually thought you were betrayed, but in fact, you were not betrayed. In the real sense, you were not betrayed. So that is how I can respond to the question you asked me, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, you're welcome, Brenda. It's good to see you here. Ryong is unstable, but it's good to have you around, everyone. Now we are at the point whereby it is possible that you are claiming you were betrayed, but actually you misunderstood everything at a go. So not everyone who claims to be betrayed was actually betrayed by the working definition that we have, because there must be an agreement where both parties have understood. There must be commitments, and in the presence of those agreements and commitments and responsibilities, therefore, there is mutual trust that every party will fulfill their end, and then one of the parties intentionally chooses to do otherwise, then that qualifies as betrayal. But in the event that there is no mutuality, at least at the level of commitment, at the level of agreement, and at the level of trust, then if it is a relationship, you were in a relationship alone, so you cannot claim to be betrayed. I don't know whether that is exonerating some of the culprits here. Because if I tell you that I like you and you respond in the same manner that you do like me as well, and then I ask for your hand in marriage, and then you say, yes, I will do that, that's verbal. We all understand that in the legal sphere, verbal agreement is one of the agreements there. So does it matter what was in your heart? Because all I could access was your word. You gave me your word, and you have not acted upon the very word that you gave. Can we really judge me as someone who was confused, and therefore I'm not justified to argue that I was betrayed? Because the other ways of discipline and acting, like Musaz was telling us, we all know that these acts are acted always. Someone who doesn't love you can act like they love you, and those actually who love you can act carelessly, and you assume that they don't love you, yet they do. So I am not sure that that actions are always determinants of what is true and what is not. Though they participate to that journey, I am not sure that it is always the case, and we can always depend on those. So we are working with human beings here. If I give you my word, that is all I can give, and that is all you can take. So the other whole thing of, well, I gave you my word, but my heart was elsewhere. Well, I'm not God. For us who believe in God, we believe that God sees the hearts and judges the hearts of people. But for us, we are dealing with what we can access. So if someone gave me their word and they acted otherwise, haven't they betrayed me, regardless of the internal organs that I cannot access? Arion, can you talk? Okay. Opio, are you there? Yes, 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 Chairman, you want to come in?
As we wait for Pio,
Yes.
I think even in the example Musazi gave, there's something called leading on. You can lead me on by your actions. Even if you're with me, but you're picking another call from someone else, it still gives me that little hope that I have a chance, you know? The fact that you're here, you'd still, I mean, I still think I have a chance. So there's something called leading on. That is still betrayal, even in that sense. Even if all the writings are on the wall, the signs are there, but still you can give me that little hope that even if it's 10%, which will feel like betrayal ultimately when it happens. So yes, like I said in the definition, sometimes the betrayal is on expectations. Now expectations may not always be the same for both parties. Sometimes, of course, there's a proper standard which you go against. That is, I think, the most obvious one. But most times, it's actually expectations. Omuchwezi disagree.
Yes, Mchwezi come in, but that is an interesting thing, Chairman. Yes, Rutemana.
Yes, now, and that's why I'm having a problem. You see, when your expectations may not be what I agree to deliver. Let me give an example, like in football. You go to watch a football match, you put in all your feelings that you're going to win that football match. But when that match was actually fixed in the boardroom, so for them, they wanted a loss or a draw. Now for you want a win. When you come out when the result is different from what you expected, then you're betrayed. But in real sense, it should not be a betrayal because that is not what the other party had agreed to do.
But in that example, am I part and parcel of that agreement?
You are not.
You you are not.
Yes,
Come back.
You are, as you see, you are, because as a fan, you are, because football is about fans, is about supporters. So you are a supporter. You are among the so many
So
people that come to
Arsenal
watch that
betrayed their
game.
supporters last night.
So can you say that Arsenal
Now, if you
betrayed
say
their
Arsenal
supporters
betrayed their
last night?
support, yet you
No,
may
no,
find they
no.
want to exit from.
Listen, I think that doesn't fall within our
From Carabao.
definition.
How about they disappointed their fans and not betrayed them? How about that?
And cut now.
Yes, Professor Servide. Come, as Rutembana evaluates that.
Yeah. One, like I said before, betrayal only happens where there is trust, number one. And number two, both parties must know that I trust you, you trust me. Where only one party knows, that is disappointment, not betrayal.
No, the Muchwazi is arguing is that Arsenal fans trusted that Arsenal is going to beat Newcastle, and Newcastle beat them and kicked them out of a league. So they trusted their team. What I'm not sure is whether the team also trusted their fan, but I guess the team also did because the fans showed up. So, Servide, do you think that was a betrayal between a fan and a football team performance?
No way. That's simply disappointment.
So
the two parties must know. If my wife is to betray me, I must know she trusts me. If I may betray her, she must first know she trusts me. Something like that.
So
there must be mutual knowledge of this trust.
Okay. So what you people are telling me here is that some of us are in relationships with other human beings that is almost like the relationship between an Arsenal fan and Arsenal Football Club.
Exactly.
Can you leave Arsenal out of your betrayal stories, please?
Example.
Let me give you another example to work with. I saw a video this week online.
Yes.
Of course, it was in Lingala, some Congolese language. But these soldiers, they're like 10 soldiers beating up one guy. But the caption said, this guy is actually, he was on the government side, the soldier. These are government soldiers. But they caught their friend communicating with M23, giving them certain instructions. Now, for me, that is the real betrayal, if you want another example.
Okay.
Government soldiers speaking to rebels.
But what if the guy is M23? What if the guy is an informant of M23 and Israel is in M23?
And he's wearing a government uniform.
Then he has betrayed the Congolese side.
By snitching them.
Yes. But let me have Zachary and Muchwezi, I'm going to call you back. Zachary, please.
Yeah, Priest Isaiah, this topic is getting interesting so much. I'm beginning to learn.
Do you feel betrayed so far?
Well, I'm getting it this way,
Mm.
that there must be, the two parties need to have some things in common, which they have agreed. In fact, there should be even specifications
Mm.
that on this one has to go this way, then you agree. On this one has to go that way, and then you agree. Anything outside that circle, if it doesn't go the way, I mean, you should not assume that if we agreed on something, that this is what I'm going to do, and with this is your role you're going to play, and this is my role I'm going to play, and then I act contrarily on a different thing, you shouldn't feel betrayed. But on what we agreed with you, then if I betrayed you, or I betrayed your trust on specific things we had a mutual agreement on, then we should call that one a betrayal. But if you agreed with this lady that we are going to stay together, yes, we shall be eating kaunga every evening, or we will be shopping every Monday, and in this shopping, I'll be buying you snacks, and I will be buying you probably sweets and other things. But then it happens that um, once you start staying together, instead you said you're going to eat kaunga, and then you prepare mshere, or you bring mshere home, then you can say that that one is a betrayal, because there was an agreement. But if that was supper, but if he brings, if he doesn't bring anything, or it doesn't bring supper, or no kaunga, no this, and no anything else, can that be betrayal?
But Zachary, before I let you go, I would like to
Yes.
to paint for you a picture, and then you answer my question. I am in a relationship with this lady, and I verbally express it to her that I am not actually into her. Then she insists that we get married. Before the marriage, I tell her that I don't love her. And then she encourages me that that love will come. Then I tell her, but I don't feel it. She organizes the ceremony. We get married. And then
Yes.
10 years along the marriage, I tell her that I want to opt out. And I remind her that, like I had told you, I wasn't in love with you. Who has betrayed the other?
There is a disappointment. There is no betrayal there.
Where is the disappointment?
You did
Who has,
not agree.
okay, who
In
has
fact,
disappointed the other?
you have disappointed her because you have not met her expectation. In
But
fact,
I communicated.
by the time you were getting into marriage, in fact, you did not get into marriage yourself. She is the one who got into the relationship of
And I
marriage.
made that clear.
Yes.
Prior to the marriage.
So you've not disappointed her.
Exactly.
I mean, you've not
So,
betrayed her.
so is there any disappointment still, now that there's no betrayal?
Yes, because she has not met her expectation. You mean
But
her
those
expectation?
expectations were dismissed.
You see, at first you said that she encouraged you and told you, no, it will work, it will come. You see, so her expectation was that as you continue in marriage, probably love will germinate.
Which has failed. Why is that my problem? And yet I
It's not
communicated
your
earlier that
problem.
it
It
is
is
nowhere.
her problem.
It is
You
her problem.
are okay.
Okay, fine. So basically, sometimes we call disappointment and we term it as betrayal.
Right.
Okay, and that is very, very, very unfortunate. Now, Rutembana, this is where I need you. I want us to switch gears a little bit here, and I hope the chairman will not castigate me on this. Rutembana, have the leadership of Uganda betrayed Ugandans?
Yes. Now it comes back to my earlier point that I was trying to make. When the leadership came 40 years ago, they promised certain things, and to them, they have probably achieved them according to their standard. What they promised to achieve, to deliver, to them they have delivered. But on the other side, you have the Ugandans who expected something from the leadership, and they have not maybe seen some of those things they expected. So they will feel betrayed.
Had they agreed with the leadership about those expectations?
There's no formal agreement.
Okay, but there was a verbal agreement at least.
There's a verbal agreement, but also even that agreement, it was not quantified or it was not standardized. Because if you say that you're going to bring democracy, and we are having elections every 5 years, so you can tick that box. But then the other side, they will say that yes, the elections are there, but then they are rigged. But remember, the agreement was democracy. Every 5 years, we're going to vote. So we did not document how the process is supposed to be. We promised every year, 5 years, we're going to be voting. Now, whatever happens in those elections, that's the point of contention. Government says we have delivered. The people who are opposing it saying, no, you haven't delivered in democracy because it is free and it is not free and fair. Yes.
So is there a possibility, because you argue that yes, the leaders have betrayed the people, but as far as Zachary is concerned and other people who have defined betrayal here, there must be an agreement. You pledged this and we pledged this, because the citizens are paying the taxes. Are the leaders applying that tax to the needs and expectations of the citizens? Yes or no? Or actually,
yes,
are the citizens even paying the taxes before we even go to the leaders?
Now there's also that to the expectation, because you see here we have two parties. That there's that thing they teach, the principal agency, the principal agency theory. They're always fighting. The principal wants to cheat the agent wants to cheat the principal. Now every person is seeing betrayal from his side of the things of interest, and every person is seeing satisfaction or delivery from his point of interest. And we can never agree on this. That's why you see, it's a good topic. Now I think maybe from now we may just have to learn things that whenever you're entering into an agreement, what are the things that you need to agree on so that you make sure that you deliver. Because if you ask two parties, government and people, government will say you've delivered, people will say you haven't delivered. When you ask the people, they will also say on the side what you're supposed to, you haven't done. Government will say, so people will say we have done. Then like that, it's so we are in that fight all the time.
Chairman, you dropped off. I don't know whether you can hear us now.
Maybe priest something.
Yes.
Can hear you now.
Okay. Let Zachary go first, and then I will ask you. Okay, Zachary, you wanted to interject.
I'm looking at it this way. Maybe the question would have been, have the citizens of Uganda betrayed their government?
You use Kenya. Now that you are in Kenya, use Kenya. Have the citizens I want to make you uncomfortable so that you can come out well.
Who has betrayed the other? Because
yes.
Who has betrayed the other?
Yes.
Sincerely speaking, in fact, I can say that in fact the citizens have betrayed their government. And that's why, in fact, I can also say that the government is also taking advantage on the betrayal they have received from the very members to betray them. And also the citizens have betrayed themselves.
How have the citizens betrayed the government, the leaders?
They have betrayed. the citizens are betrayed. Just from what you said, are they faithfully?
Yes.
Are they faithfully paying their taxes?
Mm.
Are they stealing from in fact, those who are contributing are also stealing from the very account.
Hey.
Instead of being faithful in terms of contribution to the taxes to their government and building the government, supporting their government, they are contributing at the same time stealing. So that is self-betrayal.
Okay.
First, before even we go to the betrayal of the government.
Okay.
In fact, betraying the government goes even beyond taxes, themselves choosing or electing members who or electing leaders, electing leaders or people who are not leaders. Let me just use that. And who do not have probably leadership qualities, maybe through people who are corrupt and all that. And they know that these people, they have been in the government before for a particular time or yes, for some time. And they know what they have done before in the very government, and they still elect them. So you wonder if they are really sensitive on what they want, or they are comfortable when they're with the betrayal that goes on now and then.
Now, thank you, Zachary. Thank you, Zachary. Chairman, when the Electoral Commission of these countries register incompetent leaders based on substandard standards, like as long as you have senior 6, you can contest for an electoral office. Do the citizens have an option not to vote for what has already been registered, or they don't?
They have an option.
They have an option.
Because even when a candidate is unopposed, I think they still need 50% of the. They still need to be, so that the electorate has a choice. They can say, these Kwara people you have brought for us, we are not voting for any of them. But I think, like Zachary said, the citizens first of all betray themselves by voting in these Kwara people, and then having expectations of the same Kwara people. So yeah, but to answer your question directly, the citizens have a choice. You can say we're not participating in an election, and it will not happen.
Exactly. Exactly. That's very interesting. Brenda, can you switch on your microphone? Because I want to angle from that point. I've been looking at your chart.
Yes.
Isn't it betraying yourself going forward and marrying a man who has told you they are not in love with you? Haven't you betrayed yourself?
The guy coming along to accept to get into marriage with me is giving me mixed signals.
No. He has been straight and told you that he is not in love with you.
In love.
Brenda, he has told you that he's not in love with you.
That's what he has said, but that's not what he's doing. Maybe he's just trying to tell me at this time.
No. He's being nice to you, but as far as love is concerned, he has told you he's not into it. That's what the chairman was telling us, that if the Electoral Commission registers a failure that you have the right not to vote that failure into office and leave him on the Electoral Commission register. Why do you go ahead and marry a man who has told you they are not in love with you?
Yeah, he has told me he's not in love with me, but he goes ahead and does things for people who are in love. So for me, I'm comfortable with that. And I believe that he's just shy to tell me that he loves me.
I need some help here. Omchwezi. Aryong, come.
I also need help. I also need help, really.
Your microphone. Brother, don't switch off your microphone. Aryong.
I need help from Brenda really here. Somebody is shy to tell you they love you, but they are bold. The same person is bold and not shy to tell you they don't love you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now,
You confused me.
Because if he's bold enough to tell me that he's not in love with me, he should be bold enough not to marry me.
But if you are sticking with him, and you are showing him that even if you don't love me, I can stay with you. What option? What should he do? Chase you away?
Hey, he should refuse you. He should chase you. He should be stern.
No, he has told you. He has told you, I don't love you, but you can. Yes.
Hello, now. I want you to get to the point of Brenda. The point of Brenda is, if you don't love me, the power not to marry me is in your hands. But me, I love you, and the power to marry the person I love is in my hands. Why are you not using your power of not marrying me since you don't love me? That's the question Brenda is asking.
Oh.
So Brenda, shouldn't you be loved? Should you marry someone you love and not one who loves you?
Well, men do that all the time.
No. Let's not talk about men. Let's talk about you from your position. Would you marry someone who has categorically told you they are not in love with you?
Me as Brenda.
Yes, there is only one Brenda.
It can never be me.
It can never be you. So you've been betraying us with your dishonesty here now. That means.
No, I am representing the other person because they are not around, so I'm representing them.
So you have played the devil's advocate, or you're just a criminal lawyer? Because be honest, be honest and tell us that she was wrong. Was she wrong in that metaphor?
No, the devil here is not the woman who agrees to marry. The devil is the person who doesn't love but is interested in marrying someone he does not love.
But Brenda, now you are confusing us, because you yourself, you cannot, and you know the reasons as to why. By the way, what are the reasons?
Me as a person, I cannot.
Why?
I cannot. I would not go ahead to marry such a man. I would leave them be.
Why? Why?
Because me, I require you to love me. If you do not love me, I can't live with it.
Is it important?
It is important to me.
How important is it? Is it important to you or to the relationship and the marriage altogether?
If you don't love me, even the whole marriage, I'll sabotage it.
Oh,
if
I
even go ahead with it, I'll sabotage it, because I will consistently nag you to love me.
Yes.
Yeah, because
it is important for the marriage.
Yes. So if it is not there, even the marriage, I would not go ahead with it.
Okay. So you think she was wrong not to consider what is important for the marriage?
Perhaps for her, I don't know if it is important to her, because I don't know if she thinks like
no, we are now discussing in principles. As far as marriage is concerned, is love important?
Yes, it's important.
So she was wrong. Thank you very much. Now, Omutwezi, please come back.
Yes.
If
Hello?
the citizens of Kawempe North constituency voted in a Honorable Segirinya, and in Uganda there was a revolution of people power and the modern Kyagulanyi. And when you ask Ugandans, they say that they were betrayed by President Museveni and his elites. This is why they are switching to whoever stands. Don't you think that it is the president who betrayed the citizens first, and then the citizens also decided to betray him by fronting this kind of opposition that we have today?
Oh, but it's something that is very difficult to determine. And me, I'm going to give two reasons. One is do we analyze betrayal at a corporate level, or we analyze it at an individual level? We are on this call, we are 7 people. Yeah, now we are on this call, we are 7 people. But if that question is put to all of us, we'll come up with different answers. So then now politics tells us that after what we have to consider is the majority, which may not actually be the right measure to measure whether there has been betrayal or there has not been betrayal. But me, what I would think is that in 86, I'm going to still go back. In 86, NRM came. Actually, even before 86, in 81, they said they are going to do certain things, and they convinced people who joined them. In 86, after taking power, they also came with their policies and people. So they came with their 10-point program, and people assented to it, and they have been voting it in power. So there are few people who object against Museveni and say he has been betrayed. It is now back to the one where we're talking about the numbers, because when you consider the numbers, you find that actually a majority of the Ugandans are okay and are saying that Museveni did not betray them. Yet the minority are the ones that are saying that Museveni betrayed him. So when people go and vote for people power and FDC in certain areas, it is that game of politics where the majority in that area are saying that the man betrayed him, and there is the minority who are also saying the man did not betray us. So it is just yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Zachary, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Zachary, there?
Yes.
Well, between Kenyatta Senior and Odinga Senior, who betrayed the other?
Kenyatta Senior and the junior Kenyatta who just left, the former president. Eh?
No. The Kenyatta, the father of the former president who has just left. That is Kenyatta Senior.
Yes.
And Odinga Senior, the father of the current Odinga. So who betrayed the other?
Kenyatta betrayed. Okay, I read that in history, but I think Kenyatta betrayed Odinga because they had agreement that Odinga was to be, in fact, Odinga was supposed to be the president. But Odinga saw Kenyatta as being senior and had gone through torture more than him. And he decided, even if this guy is in jail for how long, I will keep this position for him. When he comes back, I will just leave him the seat to sit for the president. He did that. But then Kenyatta betrayed Odinga. When he came to power, I don't know what he did because it is in history. I'm not very good in history. What we see after is that Odinga resigning from being the vice president from the government. So I want to believe that it is Kenyatta who betrayed Odinga.
And since then, the Kikuyus and Kalenjins have betrayed the Luos. That is why Odinga is the fourth estate or the fifth estate.
In fact, the Luos are the most betrayed community or tribe in Kenya.
Now, Rutemana, your mic is on. A certain leader in Uganda here wrote a book, Betrayed by My Leader. Have you read it? Yes. Now, don't you think people like Besigye in Uganda think that they have been betrayed by President Museveni? And are they justified to say that they have been betrayed?
Now, Of course, now politics is a whole different game, and what makes it are such things. You deceive here, you betray people, you even kill and all that. But is it that the question is, Njuba wrote one, it's called The Betrayal, then Kazora wrote another one, Betrayed by My Leader. That comes to the where we start from when Kazora is joining NRM, because Kazora left university and joined NRA, and Njuba, who wrote The Betrayal, also left. He was a chairman of National Uganda Society. He also left and then joined the NRA. The question is, the time when you're joining in 1982 or 81, what was the agreement between you and your boss? Now, if that is the agreement, because what had you agreed upon?
Yes.
So then now, because Museveni clearly tells you we had agreed on certain things like governance. Now, let me just say, like governance. We have a democratic government which is elected into power every 5 years.
Regardless
so
of
is that
how.
a betrayal? Sorry?
No, it is not.
Yes, so now Kazora says it's a betrayal, but on the other side, Museveni is saying it's not a betrayal. Every 5 years for the last 30 years, he has been organizing elections and he has been winning them. So that is good governance that he promised. Hey.
Thank you very much. Now, between the powerful and the powerless, who are likely to betray the other? Seruvide.
I doubt whether the powerless has the right or liberty to betray the powerful.
Oh.
I doubt.
Okay. Why? How?
In fact, if the powerless...
So you guys, you have seen where I was going with this whole political thing. Let's talk about power and betrayal. Continue, Seruvide.
If the powerless has the power to betray, then the powerful is the powerless. I mean, yes, yes. If I am lower, if I am Mr. Museveni's bodyguard, and I can betray him, I can betray his body, or I can betray bodyguarding him, then he boasts in vain. He boasts in vain. I have the power and the switch to determine whether he or she leaves. Yeah.
Is it my network? Or Peter is breaking.
Hello?
You were breaking. I don't know whether it is only on my side.
Yes, I was saying that one who has the power to betray has the ultimate power.
Okay.
The ultimate power rests on them who have the power to betray. So that's why I was saying that if I'm the bodyguard to Mr. Museveni and I have the ability to betray him, then it is I who hold power, not he. Exactly.
Okay. So for those who are listening in and those who have attended, have you ever thought about the people who have power on your life? Because those are the very ones that can betray you. For instance, does a maid have power on you? Or even on your family members?
Maid has a lot of power.
The maid has a lot of power. So how much, Mr. Chairman? And can we trust her with all that power? Why have we trusted a maid with all that power? Or do we have even an option?
I think we don't have an option. Some of us are stuck. Working wife, working husband. You need someone to keep your pets at home, so you get somebody to. Oh, yeah. So sometimes actually the trust is kind of forced on us. In the case of a maid. Sometimes you have no choice but to trust. I don't know whether that is actually trust, or when we are betrayed, whether that qualifies to be betrayal, because we kind of know from the very beginning
that we are not
that in
sure.
power something can happen. Last year March, we had a meeting after 3 years. Well, here she didn't have a national ID, so I'd bought her a SIM card, but in my names. When she was leaving, I told her, "You're not going with my SIM card, leave it." Put that SIM card and put it in a phone and open WhatsApp, my friend. Maybe that is my betrayal story. I don't know if this is betrayal. You guys will tell me. Anyway, I found out she had slept with almost all the Buddha men around here. Actually, since she left, they still call and say, "Well," they send messages, "Where are you? Where did you go? You know, things like that." This was happening under my nose and I didn't know. So is that betrayal or is just disappointment?
Because did she sleep with any of your children?
No, she didn't.
So and she didn't sleep even with your wife. So how were you betrayed? Maybe you were disappointed. You didn't know the person that you had.
Yeah, maybe. That's why I'm asking. Maybe it was more disappointment than betrayal. But anyway, yeah. But of course, this is not promising her heaven and earth. We told her when these kids are slightly of school-going age.
Or actually, in the words of Rutembana, had you agreed with her not to sleep with any border guy while she's working for you?
I thought that goes without saying. Does every agreement have to be
No,
written down?
the thing is this, because when a maid is part of your family, and what is working, sorry, when a maid is working for you, she's part of your family. That means that even out there, she's kind of representing your family values. So she betrayed the family values of Papa, and he felt, I am the protector of this woman, all this was put my kids in danger, stuff like that. My wife
Brenda, those values were not stipulated at the appointment stage that you must not sleep with anyone since you are part of this family.
It doesn't say you must not sleep with anyone. Maybe if it was one person, maybe Papa would be like, "Hey, Bambi." But do you know what it means to know that she was sleeping with the whole village and she's under your roof and everyone knows that, and she comes and she sleeps there and she comes and she interacts with
you are my boss. The contract I have with you is work-based, not sexual-based. Why are you bothered with who I sleep with? Why are you saying that you are betrayed? Unless if your Papa Jethro had some intentions to sleep with her, that's when the Jethro was betrayed.
This girl came into my house at 17 years. She left
at 17 years.
So she was even underage when she came here. So she was almost a daughter to me. So as a parent, why would I allow my daughter to sleep around with border men?
Oh,
so even from that point, for me, I was parenting her actually. She was not just working for me.
Just help me and mute Brenda. Her network is bad. Brenda, mute. Help me and mute Brenda, moderator. Chairman.
Girl came here at 17. She came here as a Jehovah's Witness, right? By the time she left, she had accepted Jesus. I'd introduced her to the God I know. We were on a journey somewhere. That's what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So for me, that is where the betrayal comes in.
Oh, fine. You talked with her, then she acted otherwise, so you failed to be.
Yeah, we would talk to her all the time. We would tell her, Linda parented her, I parented her.
Oh.
We made some promises to her. We told her, you know what, we'll take you. She had stopped in Wapis 5 or Wapis 6. promised to take her back to school, you know, things.
No,
And this
you
was
were
not anybody,
betrayed.
it was actually Linda's relative. So she was not like somebody we picked off the streets.
No, you were betrayed.
Yeah.
You were betrayed. Somebody wanted to come in at a certain point, your hand was up.
Yeah, I wanted to say that it is not automatic that when the house help comes into your family, then she automatically becomes part of family. Sometimes it's just part of the house. It's just part of the household. So
this one was initiated.
Okay. So I wanted to react to Madam Brenda's claim that by the virtue of the fact that they're your household, then they're part of your family. That is another decision altogether.
Okay, thank you very much. So, how much power does your spouse have over you, and how safe are you as far as betrayal is concerned? I want us to go to that part, and then we go quickly to the post-betrayal situation. So, how much power should your spouse have over you? Or we have no option to that. We are under duress to trust our spouses. Are we under duress to trust our spouses? Or it is okay to stay with my spouses, but without trust in that respect, protecting myself from future pain of betrayal. In other words, when we get married, I hope, can you guys hear me? Because I want to make sure you understand what I say.
Yeah.
Good. When we get married, we make vows. There are those church vows, and then there are others who decide to go to the legal fraternities and then sign what they call the prenup. Is it called the prenup? Where we talk about property, etc., etc., etc. And we know who takes what at a go. All right. Then there are these church, mostly church, or religious marriages, where people just make those vows and then they trust that God will protect their marriage and will handle each and every one, and they have not written an agreement. And 20 years down the road, the husband tells the wife that you can now walk out of this home with nothing. And then the wife has to run to lawyers, and eventually it is judges actually who save these women, because first of all, if we did not sign anywhere that you'll be taking anything, have I betrayed you chasing away with nothing? Especially if you were a stay-home wife. Is that betrayal?
I think if I may go first, in the case of a prenup, there's no betrayal. Okay. In the prenup, most times they say, what I came with is mine. We shall only share what we do while we are together. So for me, there's no betrayal because the expectations are set. Maybe if you expect something even after prenup, then you are like the other lady who agrees to marry a guy who doesn't love her, hoping that in future something will change. For me, there's no betrayal when there's a prenup. But if I may talk about the thing of spouses, you know, like what they say, it's falling in love is like trusting somebody with a loaded gun not to shoot you. So your spouse has the power to betray you, but you're just hoping against hope that they will not actually betray you. So it is just a risk you take on when you get married or fall in love with people.
Is that risk worth
you have
it?
The power to betray us, yes?
Is the risk worth it?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
In my opinion,
continue.
Worth it because of what you gain out of doing life with somebody. Because doing life solo is not an ideal situation as a human being. So for me, because if it works out, then I think it's worth the risk. Do life together intimately with someone. Yeah.
So what about these religious marriages where you haven't signed anything apart from the marriage certificate and you have not signed any other document of property? shouldn't we be signing those property documents against the marriage certificate, or we assume that the marriage certificate covers all of that? Does it anyway?
Maybe, priest, before you go there,
Mm.
for me, I feel there is betrayal, whether you signed or not, because it all depends on did you acquire these things together, or the properties together with the wife, or you acquired them before you got married?
You qualify the together.
If you've acquired them together, you bought the land together, you bought the car together, you
Using
built.
whose money? Using whose money, Zachary?
But using whose consent, Pastor?
No, I am working and you're not working. We are talking about buying, not consent. Consent doesn't purchase anything.
Yes, buying also. You see, like now, let me take an example of me and my wife. Yes, I am. Let me say I'm using my money probably because I'm working, and probably let's assume that she's just a housewife. If I want to purchase a piece of land, I have to share with her, and then like now the one acquired. In fact, she is the one who decided where we should stay, and where we should buy that piece of land, the location. And so that means that we shared together, and then where I chose, where I wanted to buy, she told me, no, that's not a good place, let us buy this one. That means that there is an agreement between me and her. The fact that it is my money does not really disqualify her from being part and parcel of the acquisition of that particular piece of land. So when I'm telling her to go without, and remember, even in the land title or the agreement, she is there as the next of kin, or rather, yes. So if her name is appearing there and mine is there, and then I'm telling her, no, now you have to leave. Let's say, for example, the household, like things like in the house, she has participated in choosing what to bring in the house or not. Like now, I remember when I was buying my screen, she said, no, the best screen we can buy is this one. So I just paid, but she's the one who made a choice. That means she has participated in the choice, unless we say that our decision is based on who contributes or who votes.
In case I send her with nothing, I have actually betrayed her emotionalism. That's what you're telling us.
Yes.
Her emotional support.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other person wants to jump on this?
And in fact, the betrayal should be based on emotions.
No, Rutembana argues that betrayal must be based on agreement.
It is a feeling. I feel you have betrayed our agreement.
So if I feel that I am betrayed, even if there was no betrayal practically, I am still betrayed. Is that
and that's why I said earlier in the definition that is it a conviction? Is it my thinking that I've been betrayed, or it's a feeling I feel betrayed on this? So it is more of a feeling than just a conviction, because you can be wrongly convinced.
But feelings are influenced by what we have done and what we haven't done. So we cannot really base on feelings, on how people feel, and then we start guilt-tripping ourselves. Because I am not in charge of your feelings, am I?
But they contribute.
But what are the facts on the table? Regardless of how you feel, I could feel otherwise about a particular fact. Does that change the fact?
So can we say that, for example, if you did not pay, or rather, the property you acquired probably was donated to the two of you, you and the wife, probably out of what you did. So you did not pay. Now there is no money that was used there. So you were probably rewarded or awarded that piece of land. Now that you want her to leave, can we say that now you can divide all, because you did not buy, or we still say that it belongs to you and there's no betrayal?
If the owner,
Because
if the owner of the property declared that that property belongs to you and your wife, and then you decide to take it for yourself, then you have cheated. That is understandable.
you're betrayed.
You are okay. You have betrayed.
Betrayed.
Okay. But if
Yes.
if I bought that property and I was with you as my wife, how have I betrayed you by not giving you any share in what
Why
I
did
bought?
you invite me? Why did you invite me in the process of purchasing or buying?
Zachary,
You
we
should
always
have
go
bought
with our friends.
alone.
When we go to the
No.
bonds to buy cars, we go with our friends. Those friends do not participate in the ownership of the car just
The
because they
wife is not a friend.
there's
The
too much
wife is not
emotion.
a friend.
But anyway,
If
that
you
is
want
it.
to, if you want to buy alone, go alone and buy alone. Don't include your wife, so that when a time comes and you want her to leave, she even doesn't know where it is, or even if she knows that she's not participate in that.
So thank you, Zachary. Let me ask this, Omchwezi. Are you there? Tom, are you there? Opio?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Omchwezi, keep your microphone on. Let me start with Opio. Opio, if you have a secret bank account that your wife does not know about, have you betrayed her?
How have I betrayed her? The account is mine.
But she's your wife, Zachary. Can you hear that? But she's your wife. You are with her.
She's my wife. Yes, she's not me.
Pastor, is it about the account or the match that is in the account? The money in the account.
The match is that is in the account altogether. Yes, I can
Pastor,
continue.
Being married to somebody does not deprive me of a right to own property and be myself and own anything in my own names.
So Omchwezi, please come.
Isaiah,
Yes.
just give me like 2 minutes. Then just give me about 2
that is
minutes. I'm
okay.
going to come back.
That is okay. Tom, if your girlfriend picks calls in hiding and she doesn't want to pick her calls in your presence, is she betraying you or not?
How is she betraying me?
By keeping away things from you. Her
What
phone
was what was our agreement with her before the calls?
Zachary, how would you take it if your wife is picking some calls away from you and you can't access her phone? Don't you feel betrayed?
Yes.
That is being insecure, Pastor.
Zachary, you feel betrayed? If you feel betrayed, does that now make sense? Because the last time you left this microphone, you said that if you are not going to share your land that you bought with your money with me, go and buy it alone. Don't take me. But now you feel betrayed that someone is taking calls away from your presence. Thank you, Zachary. Brenda, do you want to say something?
I'm just no. Yeah, you guys are very interesting.
How are guys interesting? You even switched off. Zachary, do you want to continue?
It's very interesting. In fact, it can be looked at. Personally, I can say yes, it is a betrayal, and no, it's not a betrayal, because when somebody picks calls, when she's picking calls, I expect, you see, when we got married, we agreed that she has access to me, including whatever that I have, and I have access to her, including whatever her secrets should be, I should be able to access all, to know all her privacy. and that includes also what she shares in private. In fact, it is me who should know her privacy than any other person. If she has to hide and make a call, then she should be calling me. I want to assume it should be calling me. However, also also look at it this way, like Zita Ryong who said, if you trust your wife, that could not be a betrayal. If you trust her, you know her and you know what she can share and what she cannot share. She knows and understands the boundaries of your relationship or marriage. You trust her, and then that means you cannot really feel threatened by her private calls which she makes. So it is either way. I look at it that way, Pastor.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, in the chat, the chairman shared, of course, it was a meme that said that I've been dating this guy for 8 months, and today he asked me why I don't have a boyfriend. That's funny, isn't it? But I want to qualify it with an experience. There is a guy who was paying rent, and he paid for that house where he stayed with his wife for 8 years actually. And after 9 years, he found out that the landlord or the landlady was his wife. Do you think that was a betrayal? Bob, you're welcome. You're welcome, my brother. Are you okay? Say hi. Well, I can't hear you.
So,
Oh,
I just finished it and then I jumped on for the last few minutes
okay.
of this
Okay.
discussion. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Have you had that experience?
Hello?
Did you have the experience? There was a guy who was married to his wife and they were renting a certain house. He found out at the 9th year that the landlady was his wife, and all the money that he had paid all those years went to the wife whom he stayed with. So I was asking here the people around here whether that was a betrayal. Is that a betrayal?
Sorry, again, I've jumped in the middle of these discussions, but I would think there's a number of factors that are coming into that. Of course, it's betrayal, but it's still, again, openness in marriage, and there could be other factors that we may not know. Ideally, issues of finances and in a home are very critical, but I don't want to blame the lady, but straight definitely it's betrayal. That there was no openness, but there could have been other factors that forced this lady to also make that move, in terms of maybe the guy also had other things he was hiding from her. I don't know. So we don't know the whole story, but from the face value, it looks like it's betrayal because there was no openness. But there could be other underlying factors that we also need to understand.
Okay, so you are basically saying that in marriage, once I am denied some information, be it in protection of myself or in protection of my spouse, that is betrayal. Julie, you're welcome. I want someone else to
Yes.
come on. Yes,
Oh.
so it is betrayal.
Yeah, I mean, when I was getting married, I got counseled by a pastor, and one of the major things that through the marriage counseling the guy brought up is that money is going to be a very big factor in your marriage. So the earlier you figure out how things are going to be done openly, the better you will to reduce on all the issues that may come up as a conflict because of money handling issues. So it's a very big factor.
Okay, openness about finances. Now, Serubida, are you there? Julie, you're welcome. I hope you can hear us. Can you, Julie? I hope it is not my network. Can you guys hear me? Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you. I'm sorry I'm late, but at least I am here.
Okay, you're welcome, Julie. Now, I want to ask anyone who wants to jump onto this. If I slept out with someone else who is not my spouse, and because I have to be open, then I came and told my spouse about what I did. Have I been faithful about openness? Then haven't I betrayed my marriage with that information? Does someone understand? Julie, do you want to attempt? I've lost all of you guys.
Again with a question.
So openness is crucial in marriage, because if this woman was not open to tell her husband that the house is hers, and she kept on taking the rent from her man for 9 years. And after that, the man felt betrayed to realize that the house he has rented for 9 years was his wife's house. He considered that betrayal. And then Bob told us that really she was not open, and she betrayed her husband for lack of openness. So I was trying to test this openness thing. When I sleep out with someone, should I come and be open with my spouse and tell them? If I did, haven't I betrayed my marriage for that purpose? Or I have actually made it stronger now that I can even disclose such an information? Chairman?
You've actually made it worse by disclosing that information. You have actually betrayed the marriage. When you fail to manage information, you have betrayed your marriage and your partner.
If I may ask, in the first place, what is the intention of you telling the wife that you slept out?
I'm trying to be open.
You're trying to be open. But I'm thinking by the time you tell your wife, you already know it's wrong. So you know it in your heart, it's wrong. And the Bible says, I hope people on the platform are saved. Nga abana b'emisota. It's not that all information is needful. Even you knowing I have done something wrong, you go repent, you don't do it again. I think that is better than you coming and telling me I've done this, because believe me or you, it's going to do more damage.
So if this woman told the husband that she's the landlord, would she have betrayed her marriage?
Are there women here?
Yes, there are. There's one.
Let someone answer that one.
I am betrayed by women. Yes.
For me, I think the moment you go and sleep with another lady outside there, what you've done is you've betrayed yourself. And when you come to reveal that or to tell your wife, then or to disclose to her, that is you have betrayed her and your marriage.
Oh.
Yes.
So what is better, to leave it at the betrayal of self?
There's nothing better.
Okay. So
there is betrayal on the other side, and also there is betrayal in disclosing that information. So wherever there is betrayal, you can't say it is better.
I was discussing necessary evil, like the surgery of cutting one body part to fill up a wound on the other body part, creating a new wound to save the old wound.
Yeah, I get you.
Now, finally, ladies and gentlemen, yes, Julie, come.
It's Brenda. Brenda was saying something.
Oh, okay, Brenda. Yes, Brenda.
So when Julie was presenting her point on that matter, she said that That what is the point? I think it all depends on the point, the point of telling that information. If the point of telling that information is simply openness, then you're just being cruel, not open. But if the point is you are repentant, you do not want this to happen, it has been eating you up, you feel like you don't know how to live with it, and you want to be forgiven by the person you have betrayed, then I think it is right for you to do it.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello.
Bob.
Yes.
Before Bob, Julie, come. Let me first have this lady.
And also just to add on what Brenda has said, maybe when you come out, if your intention is the second one to be repentant, it
and
would
make
be
the relationship
good.
stronger.
Yes, it would be good. It also covers the part of accountability. If your partner is understanding, then you will walk the journey of not doing it again, or walk the journey of healing from whatever that sin is. Be accountable. Like, I'm telling you, I did this and this. I don't want to do it again. And then let's create a strategy of this not happening again. Then there it is good. But if you're just doing it for the sake of being open, like how Brenda said, it's being cruel and inhuman.
Yes, Julie, think about this as Bob comes in. Should marrieds report all their incomes and profits and place that everything on the table without reservations? Bob, what do you think?
So I will say this. Sometimes you have to assess the result of what you're going to say. There are some marriages who will break immediately. For example, they receive that information that you cheated with X, Y, and Z. Your partner will, even if you've come out open, may end up breaking that marriage. Now, this is my thinking. There is always I don't know whether I'm even stating it well. It is always right. There's no right time to do the right thing. What am I trying? I'm trying to, like, it is it's never too late. Yes, it's never too late to do the right thing. Now, you do not have, again, assessing your situation with your spouse, you do not have to disclose whether you slept with so and so, but you have to do the right thing. Stop seeing that person. Okay? Devote to your wife. Okay? If you, again, going back to that example of the lady who hid the finances, if it's always good to do, it's never too late to do the right thing. Disclose and say, okay, by the way, this is our property. Okay? Come out clean. Okay? So I'm trying to say, look at each situation and assess it, that if I disclose this information, what is it going to do to this marriage? The most important thing is to not even to commit to her that, I will never do it again. I slept with so now I commit myself, because words mean nothing. The real thing is, what are you doing the right thing going forward? Are you devoting to your wife? Are you going to, because you may not cheat with X and then you cheat with Y. So this is my thinking, that assess your situation.
So Bob, would you agree that undisclosed information, once found out, materializes into betrayal?
Of course it does.
Oh, so okay, fine. So we should always find ways either to stop or to, because if you don't disclose that you have other children, and then 5 years along the marriage, children come, then you have betrayed.
Yeah, so I mean,
Okay, fine. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we wind up, I want to ask 2 questions, and where I am deriving those stories from those questions from the stories, the 2 stories from the Bible. The Jews expected a militant Messiah, and they expected that God was going to come and kill all those who were oppressing them and install the Jews in leadership, chase away the Romans, etc. When the Messiah came, he was friends with their enemies. My first question, did Jesus betray the Jews? Question number one. Question number two, Judas Iscariot was a zealot, and then he observed from a distance the power of Jesus Christ through his miracles and his words. And then he saw the masses that were following Jesus Christ. So Judas Iscariot, because he was a zealot, zealots was a rebel group that was fighting for the Jews against the Roman operation. So he joined. Judas Iscariot is the only disciple who was not called by Jesus. He just came by himself and decided to follow Jesus. And actually Jesus asked him, told him that I do not even have where to sleep. Will you manage? Judas insisted to follow, and he became a disciple of Jesus Christ. At the point of the hype of things, Judas knew that if he started a battle between the mega Jesus and the weak Romans, okay, Jesus would just wipe out these Romans. And then he went and he sold Jesus just to start a war as far as Judas Iscariot was concerned. So he brought the Roman soldiers, and he wanted Jesus to wipe out this battalion that had come to capture him. And then the war would start from there. He thought the same way like Peter thought. Peter had a Bennett, cut off the ear. Jesus put it back. All the disciples ran away because they saw a different thing from what they expected. Question. Did Judas betray Jesus, or Jesus betrayed Judas? Who wants to go first? I am sure you guys heard me.
High voltage.
Now,
So stop pretending like you didn't hear me. So let's start with the Messiah and the Jews. Who betrayed the other?
The Messiah. Expectations. Whose expectations were not met or were broken?
The Jews'
So
expectations.
it is the Messiah who betrayed them.
It is okay. Can we agree on this platform that the Jews understood the messianic promises and the kind of Messiah that was coming?
Isaiah.
Yes.
I don't think anyone betrayed anyone in that case.
Okay.
Because each one, I mean, there was a misunderstanding of each other's intentions.
Thank you.
Like if I'm expecting something from you,
yes,
but that thing I'm expecting is actually what you are not coming is not what you are coming to give me. So have you betrayed me if you give me what for you wanted to give me, and I don't get, like, if I think you're going to give me a phone, and instead you bring me a watch as a gift? Have I betrayed you by giving you a watch and you expecting, like what I don't know if I get what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I'm following.
Yeah, so there was misunderstanding in that case of each one's mission or each one's expectation was different. If it was clear from the beginning and each one knew the other's expectation and mission, then this question cannot arise.
So Brenda, do we understand clearly our expectations, A, B, and those we trust? Therefore, to qualify in case of failure, to qualify as betrayed, do we really understand? Or we assume we understand, and then later on we qualify that misunderstanding as betrayal?
We assume we understand a lot of times, especially if you do not ask.
Because the Jews till today, they have never recovered from the messianic promise. They are still expecting the Messiah.
Recovered?
They have never recovered. And this is the impact of a betrayal, but more so the danger of misunderstanding.
Yeah.
So,
As I wanted to
Pastor
say
White.
a statement, then I go off. Yeah.
Hello? Pastor White.
Peter, let Bob leave us. Let him make his point and then he goes ahead because
Okay.
this is time
Yeah,
of
yeah.
work.
Yeah, so I wanted to make one statement that, for example, in everything we do, this is what I have learned in my sinful life, okay, of being here on planet Earth. If you are going to do anything in hiding, okay, you know that that thing you're doing is not good, okay? Now, for married people, again, examples that we've given here, as a marriage, you two are supposed to be as one, you know, have one mission, do life together, stand with each other in the bad times, stand with each other in the good times. So wherever you are a married person and you're going to hide something from your partner, just know that that's a red flag. Now, nga bwe batugamba nti ennaku z'omubbi zibaana, okay? You do not have to even disclose what happened in your past to your partner. But if you continue in your sinning, in quote unquote, in your hiding of all these things you are supposed to be open with your partner, olunaku lujja kukyaba kugwemu. Then you better be ready for the consequences. Nga bakuguddemu, kuba it will be so bad. So starting today, think about being open with your partner going forward to avoid these future things of that can come up in that.
The Messiah was open and he was killed.
Yes, again, his mission was accomplished.
Okay,
Or
thank
to
you.
save us. Yeah, thank
you. Serwide, we have 4 minutes, and I want everyone to make a comment.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Just in the puzzle you have just thrown to us here, I would like to reiterate that betrayal can only happen when there is mutual knowing in the two parties. What party A knows about my trust in them is what party B knows about their trust in me. If there is no mutual knowing of this trust, we cannot conclude what has happened is a betrayal.
Interesting. Julie, you want to say something? Do you think Jesus betrayed the Jews?
Pablo, those two questions were a bit complicated for me. But also me, as I want to go off, I should say that betrayal is, if we have agreed upon something, it's only betrayal if we have agreed upon it. For example, if we agreed that we both bring money to do something and then me, I hide it or I don't bring, that's betrayal. But you, if you bring your money, we haven't agreed upon it, then you can't go around. Okay, that is me. I hope next time I'll have more time to elaborate on that.
Yeah,
Please
sure.
keep it at that so that next time, if I happen to be here, I will elaborate.
Yeah, when you come, you remind us.
Before you go, a question.
We are here every Monday and Thursday.
So if you're my friend Julie, but we did not agree that you do not go for my crushes or my boyfriends, we did not sit down to talk about that and agree to it. Then you happen to go for one of my boyfriends or my crushes. Does that qualify for betrayal?
No.
Someone has already answered.
Me, I was following Julie.
Did I ask him? May I ask you?
I am okay. Me, why I said what I said, I'm looking at it in the way that in the marriage setting, we are married. You didn't tell me, we didn't agree that let us build this house together. Then for you, you come, you bring your money and we build the house. Then something happens, you have built the house on the man's land. The thing becomes for the man. Then you go around saying the man betrayed me. The question is, did I tell you to bring your money? Did we agree that we are building together? Or you did it out of your heart?
Zachary, are you there? Good. Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much. So you guys, Chairman, do you want to say something about Muchwezi or Serubide? Who wants to say something about, don't you think Jesus betrayed Peter by putting back the ear of the enemy that he had cut? Because later on we know that Peter denied that he doesn't know Jesus, and that was a betrayal, wasn't it?
According to us, the viewers, but according to Jesus, it was not a betrayal.
Which part? Of Gethsemane or of denying him?
Of denying him.
Oh, it was not a betrayal?
Yes.
So, Brenda, if I denied that I don't know you, haven't I betrayed you on a road block? Because you have spent years with you. We are on a road block, then I say, they ask me, do you know that lady? Then I say, no, I don't know her. And I've never said, haven't I betrayed you, Brenda?
Well, if for instance, if I love you and I know that if you said you knew me, you would be killed, and then you said you did not know me and you got spared, would I say it is betrayal? Would I have preferred that you die?
But Jesus died, was going to be killed.
Yeah, Jesus, the reason that's why I say it is not betrayal to Jesus, it is because Jesus already knew that this particular thing is going to happen, and he
Thank
had
you, Julie.
accepted
Bye.
it,
Bye.
knowing
God bless
very
you.
well
Thank you
that
for
Peter
joining.
loves him, and eventually he's going to come around.
But Jesus had already complained to him that you will betray me 3 times. Did he consider it as not betrayal?
It was not a complaint. It was exposing him to himself, to what he is at that point.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the homilies. Ladies and gentlemen, I think our time is up. If there is no anyone who wants to say a thing, we would like to thank you for joining. We pray that you will join us next Monday. We are here. Please keep time. We start at 6 and end at 8. I want to thank you for those. Go and think about these discussions. You can always extend these discussions on YouTube and even on our WhatsApp groups. You can always get the contacts to join our WhatsApp groups for further discussions. But for now, I want to thank you. May God bless you, and may He always fight for you, and may He answer all your prayer requests. Good. Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you.
Amen.